The summer of 2008 will be remembered as the summer when three superheroes, Iron Man, Indiana Jones, and Batman, took to theaters in a battle more epic than anyone could have ever imagined. Each of the three movies had unprecedented box office returns, totaling over $1 billion between the three of them. They have had hardcore fans and casual fans alike discussing the three blockbusters at the water coolers for weeks after their first releases. After seeing the three of them, as well as each of their respective prequels, here are my honest opinions on Iron Man, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, and The Dark Knight. We'll first start with Iron Man, which opened at the beginning of May and was the summer preview. For a brief synopsis, it basically goes as follows: an engineer billionaire named Tony Stark is kidnapped in the Middle East and builds a superpowered suit to escape. He then advances on this suit and becomes a crime fighter. I was highly anticipating this movie, and along with millions of others, I saw it opening weekend. Twice, actually. Now, I have to say that the movie was very good, but I was disappointed on a few minor differences from the original comic book that made the movie feel so much different than I remembered it as a kid. Not that these were bad or even significant changes, but it still gave it a very different feel. Now, what they did was understandable, and it makes more sense for the times today, but nonetheless, I felt differently about it. For example, in the comic books, Stark is captured in Vietnam, but he's captured in Afghanistan in the movie. A professor helps him in both, and his name in both the comic and the movie is named Yin Sen, but he's European in the movie and Chinese in the comics. Now, you may think that these were pretty much insignificant changes, but I still felt a little disappointed on the whole thing. The second big movie of the summer was the fourth installment to the Indiana Jones series. I enjoyed this one the least out of all four Indiana Jones movies, and was extremely disappointed by it. It just seemed too forced, and it was just out there to make a lot of money. Now, it did do that, and you may be agreeing with me or disagreeing when I say that, they're dirty pigs and all they want is their money. Yes, it was even worse than Temple of Doom, in my opinion. It was a little bit too supernatural for me. It seemed too out there. I mean, Indy out there fighting aliens? No. Maybe it's because I've grown up a little bit since I saw the first three, and I believe that kind of stuff could really happen, like, when the guy's hand goes into his heart in the second one. That was pretty cool. And, I mean, Harrison just seemed way too old to do this kind of thing. Now, I mean, maybe Shia LaBeouf, in his introduction in this one, when he picks up the fedora, it'll be a little more redeemed for this fourth Indy one, but, nothing's even set in stone that he'll even be doing that. Now, the last big movie of the summer was Dark Knight, and I just barely saw that one yesterday. I was expecting another happy-go-lucky kitty popcorn kind of movie with this one, and, I'd been accustomed to that with Spider-Man and Iron Man and all those, but I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by this one, at how dark and mysterious it was. I guess I should have kind of taken a hint from Dark Knight, but I absolutely loved the Joker and Harvey Dent in this one. But again, just as in Batman Begins, I was sorely disappointed with Christian Bale's performance. He was just so boring. I mean, you can get a possible Oscar nod with Heath Ledger playing the Joker, even though he's dead. I mean, wouldn't you think they would be able to step it up a little bit for, the main character of the movie, whose title is given? Now, I mean, I really have no other complaints other than it was 2.5 hours long. Most people don't want to go see a 2.5 hour action thriller, but I was very satisfied with it overall. I'd actually give the movie an 11 out of 10. I mean, everything was excellent in this movie. Musical score by Hans Zimmer. I'm so glad that he did not throw the Joker's theme. Ledger made up for any other acting that sucked from everyone else. And visual effects, writing, it was just freaking amazing. So, in conclusion, in my honest opinion, for the summer's big three, Dark Knight was by far my favorite, followed by Iron Man, and coming in dead last was Indiana Jones. Much more could have been done with Indy. I don't think they could have done much to improve the Dark Knight. And Iron Man was kinda a little bit in the middle for me. Alright, I guess that's it. Thank you for listening and watching.